Epoxy floor coatings and concrete paint. What's the difference? If you're considering coating a concrete floor, you've probably come across concrete paint products for garages and epoxy coating products, and some that are called epoxy paint. This can get confusing because it's difficult to know what option is going to be best for your floors. Paint, epoxy paint, and epoxy coatings all have different costs associated with them and levels of durability. We've been doing epoxy floors for years, and the difference between concrete paint and epoxy coatings is huge. The breakdown is very simple, but because of marketing trends and consumer packaging, the differences have become mixed together. Garage floor paint is really just paint. It will peel and will last as long as you want it to. On the upside, it's cheap and easy to install. Epoxy coating is a pure epoxy that has extensive durability, aesthetic appeal, and tons of benefits. Then there's epoxy paint. This is essentially a mixture between the two. Watch on for a detailed video so you can decide on the right product for your next concrete project. Benefits of epoxy coating over garage floor paint. Epoxy coating is better in almost every way over garage floor paint. The only issue is that epoxy is 100% non-porous, which means it's more difficult to apply, and it's also more expensive. Big box stores try and make them sound like they are the same, but really they aren't. There are pros and cons to each. What is garage floor paint? Garage floor paint and epoxy paint were created as a cost-effective solution for concrete floors in industrial settings. Epoxy paint, as it sounds, is a latex acrylic paint mixed with epoxy. Epoxy paint is more durable than regular paint because of the epoxy chemical properties added to it. It's a tough, durable, protective floor coating that is fairly easy to maintain and is corrosion resistant. Because of these characteristics, epoxy paint has become a product of choice for DIY basement floors, garage floors, and still some warehouse floors. How much epoxy is in the floor paint? Epoxy floor paint is made up of 2 or 3 components. A true epoxy is 100% solids epoxy. If it is less than 100% solids epoxy, you know right away that paint is mixed with the epoxy and there is an acrylic instead of epoxy in the mixture. With epoxies that are less than 100% solid epoxy, whatever percentage is lower than 100% is the amount of paint that has been added to the epoxy and is not as strong and can evaporate, yellow, or peel when it doesn't bond as hard to the concrete during the curing process. Water-based epoxy paints may dissolve during the curing process. Cost of epoxy paint vs regular paint. As you might have guessed, epoxy paint is more expensive than regular floor paint. The reason is that the epoxy additive is more expensive and has components not regularly found in paint. A regular epoxy paint kit for a 2-car garage, 400 SQ for it, is usually between $200 and $300, which contains 2 layers of coating, a primer coat and a top coat. This is about 30% more expensive than regular paint. Epoxy paint vs epoxy coating. As we discussed above, epoxy paint is a latex acrylic paint mixed with epoxy. A true epoxy coating is 100% solid epoxy. 100% solids epoxy means that the product is much more durable. It's also more expensive and can be more difficult to install. 100% solids epoxy is usually only installed by a certified epoxy installer. As far as a homeowner should be concerned, if you want a floor that is truly going to stand up to anything, including hot tires, some oil spills, and pretty much anything you throw at it, short of a kitchen sink, you'll want an epoxy coating. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.